has allowed us every single month over the last year during that same month to improve ourselves in used vehicles. Typically, it's 30% or more that our improvement has been, but it is definitely mainly because of BenQ and us keeping our eye on the ball. The new Pulse from BenQ is terrific. We also use Boost. Boost is fantastic. It allows us basically to concentrate on the 80% of the cars that don't sell as quick. And it's allowed us to move our inventory so much quicker. We're now turning our inventory over 15 times a year. Most dealerships, the average is about 45 days. We're turning it much quicker than that.
You're watching Q the Next Leader, presented by VinQ. I'm your host, Angela Rizzo.
Today I'm excited to introduce Bob Kain, a driving force in the automotive industry. Serving as the GM at Kain Ford in Versailles, Kentucky, Bob brings a wealth of experience and innovation to the table. Join us as we delve into his journey of revolutionizing dealership strategies and shaping the future of automotive retail. Well, hey, Bob, welcome. It's so nice to have you on the podcast today.
Oh, thank you so much, Angela, for having me on here. I'm very excited. I love talking about the automobile industry and anything that has to do with that.
Oh, gosh. Well, I love that so much. Well, welcome to Q the Next Leader. You probably should have been the first leader that I had on this podcast because of your experience. But better late than never, right, Bob?
Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you just maybe we could start a little bit just about your personal journey into the automotive industry and how you got involved in your dealership.
Well, let me go back just a little bit further than myself. My grandfather used to have a dairy farm, and my father worked on his dairy farm while he went to college. And my father was not too keen on doing milking cows for the rest of his life. So he asked his father, who's my grandfather, he said, "Hey, would it be okay? There's a car dealership near the campus here. If I sold DeSoto's during the summertime," a lot of people don't even know what DeSoto's are. If I sold DeSoto's during the summertime instead of milking cows, and his father thought about it and he said, "Yeah, I'll let you do that." And so he did that and absolutely loved it. And so he started our business in 1959, and I did not want to get into the family business. I was going to be an FBI agent, and so I got out of college, and there was not an opening in the FBI that I could get in at that time. And I said, "Well, if you don't mind, I'll sell cars until something happens with my law enforcement career." And he said, "Yep, that'll be fine." And here I am 37 years later, waiting for my law enforcement career to start. I absolutely love this business. It's been so good to me and my family. And I just, every single day, I come in excited that I truly feel like that we can change the world here at Kain Ford, and we do our very best every day to improve our people and improve our community.
You know, it's so nice. I've had an opportunity to talk to a few of the folks that work at Kain Ford. I've talked to Matt McCall. I've talked to Graham Kain. Now, I wanted to adopt Graham Kain. What a wonderful young man, right? So intelligent, so ahead of his years. And I think he's also gonna make a great addition and probably will just take on the dealership when everybody's ready to move on, right?
No doubt about that. Yeah, we're very fortunate. He is the third generation here at Kain Ford, and he's been just an amazing addition to our team.
That's great. Well, you mentioned the things that you do in the community and why you love your dealership so much. Can you talk a little bit about what sets your dealership apart, Kain Ford, from other dealerships?
In this environment today of a lot of publicly owned dealerships, we are truly a family dealership. My father, he would be here every single day if his health allowed him. He's almost 95. And he used to come in every day up until he was 94 years old. And it's myself and my wife works right here behind me in my office. She's our HR manager. We feel like it's better if we're in the same office because we have to communicate so often. A lot of people say, how do you do it? I don't understand, but we've got a wonderful relationship. I also have three siblings that work here with me. And then, as you mentioned, Graham, who is our third generation. So we're truly a family dealership, which allows us all over the dealership in different areas of our business. We've got canes, and people know how much we care about the business. And our people kind of take on the same type of statesmanship, and they want to take great care of our customers as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So it's a not only do you have a lot of that you're surrounded with a lot of family, but it sounds like you all have the same approach to customers, to the business, and that's you've created a culture
We
that
have,
right, that is
it
really
is.
important.
It's a family culture, and so many people from who have experienced larger dealerships around our store, they want to come and experience the same type of culture because people talk and there's social media and so forth. And fortunately, people understand that the culture here at Jack King Ford is superior to our competitors.
Love it. Well, speaking of competitors, how do you stay competitive in a market that's constantly changing?
Gosh, it is the biggest challenge, I'll tell you. We've got to embrace technology. We've got to do everything we can to train our people. We're training with some of the best people in automobile industry. So many different people out there and vendors that provide us with such great technology that we can do our job so much better. VinQ has been just a great partner with us. Between us and VinQ, I feel like that there's nothing that we can't accomplish when it comes to technology and servicing our customers.
Well, that's great. Can you tell me a little bit more about VinQ and, do you have any key stats or things you might want to share? Like what were you doing before VinQ and what are you doing now that you have
Yeah.
VinQ? Anything there that you'd like to share with us?
We partnered up with VinQ about a year and a half ago. And the reason I did quite honestly, I don't know if this is appropriate to say on here. I wanted to use a product other than a Cox product, and and I really love the people, your founders, the organization, and so forth. And I thought, okay, guys, I told my team this right now is not the best product on the market, but they are young, they're nimble, they're willing to work with dealers and come up with the best product. And over the last year and a half that we've been a partner with VinQ, the growth in VinQ has been amazing. They actually listen to the dealers. They brainstorm. They want to know what's going on day to day in the dealership and helping our customers and coming up with the best programs that are possible to move our business forward. And it's just been a really good partnership. We use a lot of different key and performance indicators. Let me back up just a little bit. Our sales meeting in the morning is very unique. We go over more in our sales meeting. In fact, just had Dan Riggs, our performance manager from VinQ, visit us about 2 weeks ago, and he said it was the best sales meeting he's ever been to. It's upbeat, it's motivational. We start out with a song and do trivia, and then we get into the heart of the meeting. We look at things such as yesterday's sales, which I know everybody does that, but we look at the opportunities, the missed deals, and we look at that with VinQ and our CRM. We look at the salespeople total, and we use the VinQ product for that to look at their sales and their opportunities. What are their closing ratios and so forth. We look at how many videos were sent out yesterday and look at those videos. They're required to do 6 videos a day to customers. We look at a 2-day gap report, and that is 2 days is unacceptable if a customer has shown interest in a vehicle in the last 30 days and we've not touched base with them. So we look at that indicator. We look at let's see what else. several other indicators that will tell us exactly where the state of our business is at that moment. And VinQ and I'll throw it something out for Lot Pop too. Lot Pop has been a great partner, and in VinQ and Lot Pop now really that sync together and provide us on the same platform, even on one or the other of the two programs, some really nice help. But it has allowed us every single month over the last year during that same month to improve our sales in used vehicles. Typically, it's 30% or more that our improvement has been, but it is definitely mainly because of VinQ and us keeping our eye on the ball. The new Pulse from VinQ is terrific. We also use Boost. Boost is fantastic. It allows us basically to concentrate on the 80% of the cars that don't sell as quick. And it's allowed us to move our inventory so much quicker. We're now turning our inventory over 15 times a year. Most dealerships, the average is about 45 days. We're turning it much quicker than that.
Wow, that's outstanding. And for those of you who are listening who don't know about Pulse or Boost, Pulse is actually a dashboard that we keep in the dealership that shows Bob and his team how the salespeople are performing on acquisitions and sales. And then Boost is a VIN-specific targeted advertising. So we find that a lot of our dealers, once they go over to Boost, they're actually spending less money on VDP views using Boost and selling and turning the inventory quicker. So I'm glad that you go ahead, Bob.
I want to mention too, Angela, we made the sacrifices at first just because we wanted to move to a different product, and now it is a superior product through the development and the team, your team, and them rolling up their sleeves and coming up with a better product. It's better than any out there without the appraisal tool, which is far better than the competitor, and also the buying center has been a game changer for us. It's the best buying center product out on the market.
Oh, you're talking about the VBC, the Vehicle Buying Center, where you're actually
Yes.
acquiring cars from the public?
Absolutely. Yes.
How, do you want to share, like, how many cars are you acquiring, and your sales, or is that stuff you kind of keep close to the vest?
So we started doing the buying center about a year and 2 months ago, and Graham Kain, who you mentioned is our nephew, we brought him in specifically to do that role, and he does a terrific job, and he uses your tool to do that. We were buying about 4 to 5 cars a month. Basically, when somebody happened to drive by and thought, hey, there's a car dealership, I'll take my car in and have it appraised. And so we're now buying over 30 cars a month on it, which is a game changer for us. And it has helped us grow. And we're probably going to have to add a second person to that department now. It's just, it's probably become too big for one person. But through the use of those tools, it's definitely helped our used car department tremendously.
Oh, wow, that is news to my ears. We need to get Graham talking to Jaden Abad at Beaver Toyota.
Yeah, they're buddies.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
We sent Graham to Jaden, and they hit it off. They're both the same age, and they hit it off, and they're doing talking back and forth, and it's been a great partnership there.
Well, that's great because we've got Unleashed coming up, the VinQ customer conference. You were the star of Unleashed last year because we.
Very kind of you to say that. And I mentioned that this was a family business, and my wife, she's back here behind me working.
That's okay.
But yeah, you guys had a tremendous presence there at the NADA show this year, and you have to be very proud of how you and your team conducted business, and it was one of the best vendor booths that I went in during the entire show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, we put a lot of time and effort into designing the booth and into thinking about the things that we want to, put in the booth and on the screen. So thank you for saying that. It means a lot.
Yeah, you bet.
You know, let's talk about your dealership. Let's talk about some of the biggest challenges that you have faced as a dealership owner operator, and how do you overcome them?
The biggest challenge today is probably compliance. There's so many things that we have to do as a dealership in order to stay compliant with the government. It's just got to be almost a full-time job for somebody. It's in order to be compliant and also grow at the same time, it's very challenging. But we somehow managed to do that and continue to grow. But it's extremely hard. You have to know all the laws and the difficulties that it takes to sell a car nowadays. People would not believe what we as auto dealers have to go through in order to sell one car.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, I have an idea, but it's one thing to be sitting on the outside as a partner. It's very different to be on the inside, being the one responsible to make it, to make your numbers every month. So
Yeah,
feel for you.
it's a challenge.
Well, let's talk about, any memorable success stories or in your career as a dealer that you want to highlight or talk about.
I think mine is more of team accomplishments, and probably one of the biggest things I'm most proud of is we've won Ford's coveted Presence Award 13 times, and that's more than every dealership in Central Kentucky combined. And that's extremely important to us. And that means our customers have said, "Hey, Jack Kain Ford's the best," and that means so much to us. And then secondly, probably routinely, we're in the top 100 out of 16,000 dealerships in reputation.com. And that's a huge task for us. One year, we were the only dealer in Kentucky in the top 100. And that again is customers saying that Jack Kain Ford is doing a good job, and that there's no better award than something that customers give us. We just won for the fifth year in a row the Carfax Award, and that's an important award to us because that again is our customers, and that's related to our fixed ops side for our service department, and they're saying, "Hey, Jack Kain Ford, thanks for taking great care of us."
That's outstanding, and I guess that's what's going to keep the dealership thriving for years and years and years to come, right? Is
Yeah,
that level of loyalty.
it is, and our people are just amazing. They just grab the torch and run with it, and they're all empowered to make decisions to take care of the customer. We will never give an employee a hard time if they take care of the customer, even if it may not be the right decision. We can analyze it, what have you, but we're never going to give them a hard time for taking care of the customer.
Wow, that's outstanding. I love that. Almost makes me want to drive to Kentucky and buy a Ford from you. Well, when you think about the future of automotive retail, do you see some trends that are shaping the future, and how are you preparing for the future?
Gosh, it's hard to have a crystal ball, but the naturally digital retailing is going to be a big part of that. And I think there's a few dealerships that are smart enough to have that already figured out, and we're not one of those. We're doing better than we've ever done at it, but we're still not where we need to be. We are thriving on the fixed ops side of it with the pickup and delivery. We're the top in the state of Kentucky in the number of pickup and deliveries for our service department. And also, we've embraced the mobile services, mobile repair service. Got a young man that does that and does a great job. Customers love it. But I think that we all could do a better job on the digital retailing side of it. I can foresee that being at least 75% of our business in the future because people want convenience. They
Mhm.
want to not have to leave their home. They want to carry on with their lives without the distraction of a car deal.
Yeah, and along those lines, are you looking at ways to kind of streamline the buying process? Like if
Yeah,
somebody comes into your, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
yeah, without a doubt. Customers say that one of the biggest things that they dislike about buying a vehicle is it takes too long, and we have worked on that. It's we've the probably the biggest improvement that we've made is to turn over to the finance office. The customers in the finance office within 10 minutes, and that's a standard that we have. And customers just sometimes sit, so to speak, on ice for 30 minutes to an hour before the paperwork is done, and they don't like that at all. So we've done a much better job with that. Um, the negotiation process has really decreased in time now that the margins are thinner, and dealers are doing a much better job of coming to a deal with the customer quicker. That's certainly helped out a lot.
I love it. Well, so give to any aspiring automotive dealers who are looking to enter the industry?
Run. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a great industry. It really is. If you are somebody out there who likes people, likes to inspire people and help people improve and help people become better managers and salespeople. If you're somebody who loves dealing with the customers, you're a problem solver, want to help them with the vehicle of their dreams. I still love so much when we sell a car. It gives me a warm feeling inside because I know that somebody is entrusting us with the second biggest purchase of their life. And it just makes me feel so good that they would choose our dealership. So I want to make sure when they're putting so much trust in us that we take great care of them, give them a great experience.
I love it. I love it. Um, are there any other, innovative initiatives that are going on at the dealership that you're really embracing to drive more growth?
I think that we're doing a good job of, and it's trying right now. It's hard. The EV movement, whether it is electric or it's some other alternative uh, uh, energy, it is coming, and I feel like it's going to be 75% of the market someday. And I think that with us embracing EV or whatever the technology is going to be on in the future, I think that we're going to be ahead of our competitors because so many of them out there right now are just not willing to look at it. And there's a huge segment. I think I remember, Angela, the last time we saw each other, you have an electric vehicle and love it. And there's so many out there like you who it's a great vehicle, a great source of pleasure that they're getting out of it. So I think that that's going to be the innovation in the future that we're all going to have to embrace.
Yeah, it really makes a difference. I haven't been to a gas station in 6 years,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if it's the same with the product that you bought with Ford. During the first 3 years, you do not have to pay for any of your electric as long as you do it within the Ford circuit area and or the Ford box. And so it's basically where people who bought a gas engine vehicle would be buying gas for 3 years. It's you're not paying for anything for the first 3 years. So
Yeah,
it's a
and
deal.
it's a great deal. And the cars are just who have never been in an electric car. They think it's a dinky thing, right? I mean, I know that Tesla is, out there, but those are a dime a dozen now.
Yeah,
Mach-E, that is a beautifully designed car.
it
Um,
is. Yes.
and
And we've
and
got the
other
number one selling truck, which is the Ford Lightning. It's an amazing vehicle.
is Ford still gonna manufacture those, or are they gonna be
They
pulling
are
back on
right
that?
now. There's some. some quality holds that are going on right now, but most definitely, yes, it's going
Okay.
to be a big part of the future.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know because those vehicles, like I said, like I'm an early adopter and I just love driving an electric vehicle. It's a lot of fun. And you get to sneak up on people because they can't hear you. They can't hear
Yeah,
you
that's
coming.
right. It's like I tell people, it's like a ride that you would get in an amusement park. There's so much fun.
Exactly.
If we can get people to get in the car, then they love it.
Exactly. That's actually that's a smart tactic. Get them down to the dealership and get them in it to test drive it. They won't go back.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's look ahead. What are your goals and aspirations for your dealership, in the coming years?
So we want to keep growing without a doubt. That growth is so important. Every single day we come in, we're looking for ways that we can provide a better service, take care of a customer uh, uh, problem or need, so that we can grow. If we don't grow, we want to this I want to do is leave a legacy of the Jack Kain Ford family for future families that are going to be involved in our business. I want them to say, "Hey, Jack Kain Ford is a leader in our industry," and it's a legacy that we want to others in the industry to recognize. We get a lot of dealers that come and visit us because of what we do on the service end of it. I want the same thing to be that on our sales end of it. It's so in order to do that, we're going to have to continue to grow.
Love it. All right, now I've got a few questions for you that aren't automotive related. These will just
Uh-oh.
help us get to know you a little bit better. Okay, you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, what are you reading?
Actually, I've got it right here. I'm currently reading it. This is Custom Her Experience. This is from Katie Mayers, and it is a great book. It's about providing and tailoring your brand experience to women, and because none of us, I'll guarantee you, and she does such a good job of explaining how women go into dealerships, and it's terrible how they're treated. Like they'll say, "Hey, is your husband here?" and stuff. This is stuff that was going on back in the 70s. The fact that it's still going on today is outrageous. So I have been using this book to train our salespeople so that we can give the best experience ever to women because there's our competitors are not doing that. So this has given us a huge edge, and our salespeople are just eating it up. They absolutely love it.
Oh, I love it. It's so smart. It's such a smart strategy, Bob, because women influence something in the neighborhood like 80% of all buying decisions.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I love
Us,
it.
us guys are dummies. I can assure you that.
Okay, next question. If you won $10 million tomorrow, what would you do?
Oh boy. Go to Fiji. Yeah. So probably invest back in the community through real estate and so forth. There's always such great opportunities to buy property and great buildings. Our downtown area, there's a couple of buildings that are vacant and it's really growing down there and robust and be pretty cool to buy a couple of buildings down there and refurbish them and just watch it grow.
I love it. All right. Is there something that I should have asked you? Is there a question that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you, Bob?
I don't think so. I think it's been very thorough. I love this industry so much, and I think that if all dealers would work together, sometimes we get into situations where we want the competitor to do not so good, and that's unfortunate because if we can all help each other out and become more of a ambassadors for our industry, I think Danelle Delgado does a great job, and she and I talk about this that the dealers that she knows are such good people, but the the population out there, they don't know this. They just they don't realize what all we do for our communities in terms of people talk about the baseball teams and stuff like that, but it's so much more than that. We do probably some of the best events here at Jack Kain Ford that our community has during the entire year. We do a fall festival that typically brings about 5,000 people to our back field. We open it up and have vendors, and we've got entertainers, and this is all free of charge. We've got food trucks, and we do so many. This last year we had a talent show and so forth, and the people absolutely love it. It has nothing to do with selling a car. We don't even put any cars back there, but we want people to be comfortable being on a car campus without feeling like they have to buy something, so that when they are interested in a car, maybe they'll give us an opportunity. We're getting ready to have in May a pet expo. We've got people coming out galore, vendors. We've got over 100 vendors that have to do with animals. Our local animal shelter will be here, or the one in the neighboring towns will be here, going to have petting zoo and all kinds of fun stuff just to promote animals. And we do a Christmas bazaar every year and get all kinds of people free pictures with Santa Claus for the kids and candy and stuff, and just a lot of stuff like that. I feel like that car dealers, they are their community. I think back to It's a Wonderful Life, and Jimmy Stewart is there with George Bailey's there with his father, and his father talks about how important the savings and loan was, and he said that he feels like this community needs a savings and loan to take good care of the community and the people, and I feel like that's our obligation to our community.
Wow. Bob, that is just so powerful. And It's a Wonderful Life is one of my favorite all-time movies.
Me too. I love it.
I love that movie and the message in that movie. And you're right about automotive dealerships. You're right about, the first number, the major purchase is a home. The second purchase is a car. And, think of the freedom that you get when you have a car.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So you're such a wonderful man, and
Oh.
you're making me want to go check out moving to Lexington. I mean, I love Kansas City, but wow, I might just want to be close to you and your dealership.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. We have such a great team here. I'm just so proud of everybody, and it's a fun time to be. It's challenging, don't get me wrong, but it's still a fun time to be in the automobile industry.
Well, the good news, Bob, is that it doesn't happen by accident. You've created the culture, right? You've created this business that you've taken from your father, and you're creating the legacy. So I'm proud to know you, and I can't wait to see you again soon, either at another conference or at our Unleash conference in September. But thank you so much for being a guest on my show today.
It's my honor and pleasure. Thank you so much, Angela. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.